Akshay is the general manager of Mr. Akshay is the general manager of textile company of Delhi. Place is important. What is important? Place where he is working is important, with which we are getting whether it is metro, whether it is not metro city. So what is written next to this? Tell me. If we read wholesome, the following particulars of his income for financial year 25-26 given. The first one is given basic salary 2,10,000 per annum, right? Dearness allowance 12,000 rupees per month, out of which rupees 5,000 enters into retirement benefit. So out of which only rupees 5,000 is taken into consideration for retirement benefits calculation. Education allowance for 2 children is at the rate of 1,300 per month per child. So per month he is getting 1,300 for 2 children. That is 2,600. Exemption is of 100 per month per child. So 200 max to max exemption he can claim for per month ka basis. Hostel expenditure allowance for elder son is 1,450 per month. This hostel expenditure is exempted at the rate of 300 per month per child for maximum number of 2 children. Then next is entertainment allowance 800 per month. Is he working in government organization? Then answer is no. So whatever entertainment allowance he might be in position to get is fully taxable, no exemption. Then traveling allowance for official tour 40,000. Actual expenditure incurred is 27,000. जो कुछ भी ऑफिशियल ड्यूटीज करने के लिए आपको इमोल्यूमेंट्स मिलते हैं, these emoluments, if it is or money which is spent for that purpose, then nothing to worry. But spent for partially and few things are left with you, certain sum is left with you, then whatever amount is left with you as an employee is a taxable part. So here Mr. Akshay has received 40,000 and he is in position to spend only 27,000. Nowhere it is mentioned ki balance amount reimburse or something. So it is assumed that balance amount is left with him. So 13,000 which is balance is taxable. Cloth worth rupees 2,000 provided free of cost. 5,000 तक का कुछ भी वो सब अपने एम्प्लॉइज पे खर्चा करे exempted होता है. This cloth is only of 2,000. So nothing to worry from the taxation point of view. Company bungalow fair rent is 12,000 per month. Employee pays rupees 31,000 per annum. So here we have to calculate the house accommodations value. Again here we require working note. By considering Delhi population is more than 40 lakhs, 10% of salary will be taken into consideration. Salary will be defined. Basic plus DA of retirement benefit plus taxable allowances plus commission plus कमीशन. अभी यहाँ जो कमीशन हम ऐड करते हैं, कुछ भी मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट रहेगा वो कंसीडर कर सकते हैं. या परसेंटेज ऑफ सेल्स होना जरूरी नहीं. बोनस और एल्स any money which is received from employer to employee. So that is the definition of salary, or 10% of it that has to be taken into consideration. पार्शल है, जितना पूरे साल का आपका कैलकुलेशन होगा उसके बेस पे आपको ये जितना एम्प्लॉइज ने रेंट पे किया है सब्सट्रैक्ट करना पड़ेगा, और रिमेनिंग पार्ट टैक्सेबल पार्ट एज अ इन टर्म्स ऑफ परक्विजिट फॉर subsidized rent, house accommodation provided from employer to employee. Any servant which is at home, if it is paid by company, then that is taxable in our salary. So this watchman is taxable. Employer own car of 1.8 लीटर कैपेसिटी, आपको कैपेसिटी किससे कंपेयर करनी है? 1.6 लीटर से कंपेयर करनी है. तो हाई कैपेसिटी व्हीकल, who is owner? Employer is owner, right? With driver it is provided. For which purpose it is provided? For private purpose. Maintenance borne by the employee. Running and maintenance are borne by the employee. In this case, we should know the capacity, who is the owner, for which purpose it is used. Is it used only for private purpose, or it is used? What is mentioned? Tell me. Unmute yourself and tell. बोलो क्या दिखा है उधर? He has been provided with a motor car 1.8 liter engine capacity with chauffeur. Here only for personal reason दिया है, बट पर्सनल रीजन के लिए जब देते हैं तब आपको उसका कॉस्ट भी उस प्रॉब्लम में देना पड़ता है. अभी ये जो प्रॉब्लम मुझे मिला है इसमें थोड़ा सा करेक्शन हमें करना पड़ेगा. रीजन बिहाइंड दैट इज, yesterday we have seen when car is owned by the employer, running and maintenance are taken care by the employee, and valuation of perquisite in terms of motor car, if it is fully used for personal reason, then 10% cost of vehicle supposed to be taken into consideration. 10% cost of vehicle supposed to be taken into consideration. और इल्स अभी वो ओनर गाड़ी का एम्प्लॉयर नहीं रहेगा, उन्होंने हायर बेसिस पे लिया होगा, हायरिंग के चार्जेस वो पे करते होंगे, तो हायर चार्जेस इफ कार इज टेकन ऑन हायर बेसिस. और इसमें से सब्सट्रैक्ट क्या कर सकते हैं? इनकेस कुछ अमाउंट रिकवर किया गया तो भी यहाँ हमें कॉस्ट ऑफ व्हीकल नहीं पता, सिर्फ कैपेसिटी ऑफ व्हीकल वी नो. In that case, only partial editing part of this problem we can do. That is nothing but this is used. If you are writing, you can write down problem number 3. Editing part is nothing but this. Vehicle is used for personal and official purpose. Now, after considering that particular aspect of a problem, see, when it is owner is an employer, running and maintenance expenditure borne by the employee, and if it is used for partly for official and partly for personal reason, then depending upon the engine's capacity, calculations will come in picture. As calculations are 600 per month if capacity is less, 900 per month if capacity is high, and if driver is provided everywhere for driver for partly official and partly personal reason, 900 per month. So likewise for this motor car we have to do the calculation by writing. Everything we have to do, nothing will be done orally, क्योंकि जब लिखते तब clarity आती है. Employer's contribution to NPS at the rate of 14% of salary. What is written? Employer's contribution to National Pension Scheme is 14% of salary. This is allowed only in case of deduction under section CCD, 80 CCD. Here salary have to be defined like basic plus DA of retirement benefit. तो अभी जितना होता है वो कैलकुलेशन करके चेक करना पड़ेगा. यहाँ इन्होंने कितना दिया है? एम्प्लॉयर्स कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन 14% और डिडक्टिबल पार्ट है. नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट? Interest credited to RPF at the rate of 13%. प्रोफेशनल टैक्स इंटरेस्ट डिडक्शन में जाता है 9.5% से. प्रोफेशनल टैक्स है 2500. एम्प्लॉई हैज नॉट ऑप्टेड सेक्शन 115 BAC. न्यू टैक्स रिजिम से कैलकुलेशन मत करो, ओल्ड टैक्स रिजिम के लिए सैलरी का कैलकुलेशन करो, ऐसा उनका कहना है. क्या बोला है? एम्प्लॉई हैज नॉट ऑप्टेड न्यू टैक्सेशन रिजिम अंडर सेक्शन 115. तो डायरेक्टली कभी आपको पता नहीं चलेगा, बट सेक्शन देखने के बाद पता चलना चाहिए कि यहाँ ये क्या हो रहा है. सो इन सॉल्यूशन, if you write in on pen and paper, you can practice. Basic 2,10,000. इनर अमाउंट कॉलम, आउटर अमाउंट कॉलम, अपना फॉर्मेट फॉलो करना भूलना मत. डीए ऑफ रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिट और ये सब चीजें अभी हमें नहीं चाहिए. जो दिया है वो एज इट इज हमें कैलकुलेशन के लिए आउटर कॉलम में डालना है. 12,000 इंटू 12, 1,44,000. एजुकेशन अलाउंस डायरेक्ट आउटर कॉलम में फिगर दिया है, उसका वर्किंग नोट देखो. Education allowance is exempted per child 100 per child per month. For 2 children, it is exempted 2,400. So in inner column, if you are writing, you write down in inner column how much is the education allowance received. कितना दे रहा है वो एजुकेशन अलाउंस? 1,300 per month per child. So 1,300 per month for 12 months it is received. We multiplied by 12 into 2 for 2 children into 2. It will be 31,200. It will be 31,200. I have calculator. I am doing that calculation for you people. You have to follow it. Minus this 2,400 which is in working note 2. See, these different styles people follow and they just take exact figure in amount column. But for our better understanding, if we write there itself less exemption 100 into 2 into 12, so अपना आएगा 2,400. और वो एग्जाम्शन के बाद आउटर कॉलम में जो अमाउंट आता है अपना या इनका डायरेक्ट जो आया है वो वन एंड द सेम 28,800. 28,800. Hostel allowance, write down amount in inner amount column. Hostel allowance is received 1,450 for 12 months for one child. 17,400 inner amount column. 17,400. 17,400 inner amount column. Here the working note is saying which is correct one, but that we have to write in inner amount column, less exempted at the rate of 300 per child per month, 300 into 1 into 12. So exemption will be of 3600. बार त्रिक 36, 12 3 जा 36. So in hostel allowance, we will be having taxable, for hostel allowance we will be having taxable amount against that particular row is 13,800. 17,400 minus 3,600, you will be getting 13,800. एंटरटेनमेंट अलाउंस इज गिवन. एंटरटेनमेंट अलाउंस कितना मिला इस बंदे को? 800 पर मंथ. 800 into 12, 9,600, fully taxable, no exemption. Traveling allowance for official duty. Traveling allowance, you can write 40,000 minus 27,000, bracket complete, outer column 13,000. Exempted because actual expenditure used done for official reason. Then gift of cloth up to 5,000 if employer is giving certain gifts to employee, exempted. So gift in kind, gift of cloth, whatever you want to write outer column exempt 0. Accommodation as a perquisite. अभी मैं आपको जो बोलती हूँ इतना डिटेल में यहाँ दिया नहीं है. If you want to write, you can write. We have to find out the city in which he is staying. Once it is done, we have to know what can be the population. Then that population count supposed to compare with the condition. As this Akshay is staying in Delhi, we are expecting population is more than 40 lakhs. It's in crore. So if it is more than 40 lakhs, then 10% of salary applicable. What is the definition of salary? Here, for calculation of perquisite like house accommodation, salary is defined in a very different way than the RPF and HRA calculation with the help of salary. Here salary is defined as basic plus DA of retirement benefit plus commission, no ifs and buts for commission, bonus, taxable allowance of and any sum received or any monetary benefits received by employer through employee or from employee. So by considering that basic plus DA of retirement benefit plus commission plus taxable allowance, 10% of 3,55,000 comes in picture. Because DA में कितना आपको कंसिडर करना है? 5,000 per month. For 12 months, it is 60,000. 2,10,000 plus 60,000, 2,70,000. और जितना भी टैक्सेबल अलाउंसेस है, जैसे कि हॉस्टल अलाउंस हुआ, एजुकेशन अलाउंस हुआ, इंटरटेनमेंट अलाउंस हुआ, ट्रैवल अलाउंस हुआ, ये सब आपको ऐड करते जाना है. ये सब ऐड करोगे तब आपका वो सैलरी आता है उस बंदे का 3,55,000. Even commission is given 20,000. If we add everything, The salary comes to 3,55,200. You just do the calculation and tell me is it correct or not. करो. जब तक आप लोग मुझे बोलोगे नहीं कि मैडम आपने 3,55,200 जो लिखा है वो करेक्ट है, तब तक मैं आगे नहीं बढ़ूंगी. आपके पास यहाँ सॉल्यूशन है सामने, आप लिख रहे हो नहीं लिख रहे हो, दैट आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू मॉनिटर पर्सनली बिकॉज एवरीथिंग इज वर्चुअल. आई ट्रस्ट यू. And even if you are not writing, you have screen in front of you, you know the definition. Just tell me whether it is correct or not. 2,10,000 plus 60,000 plus 28,800 plus 13,800 plus 9,600 plus 13,000 plus 20,000. बोलो. सही है क्या? 210 plus 60 plus 20 plus 28,800 plus 13,800 plus 9,600 plus 13,000. जितनी भी चीजें हैं वो हाउस अकोमोडेशन के ऊपर ही कैलकुलेट कर चुके हैं हम लोग. ऐसा नहीं है कि हाउस अकोमोडेशन लिखा है उसके बाद के कैलकुलेशंस भी लेने हैं. जितनी भी चीजें मैंने अभी वापस बोली, 210 प्लस 60 270 प्लस 28,800, मैं टाइम बिंग 28 लेती हूँ, 298 प्लस 13 31 311 प्लस 10 9,000 को मैं 10 करती हूँ. बोलो कितना आएगा? 321 प्लस 13 24 34 प्लस 20 64 आ रहा है. उसमें से ये थोड़ी सी चीजें प्लस माइनस करके बरोबर अपना टोटल आता है 3,35,200. आप जब तक नहीं बोलते सम का उतना ही टोटल आ रहा है, मैं आगे नहीं बढ़ने वाली हूँ. यू राइट इन चैट बॉक्स, आई वोंट माइंड. You have to write, you have to tell me. Nobody is listening, that's what I feel. Is it so? Shall I stop taking lecture? Tell me the total of allowances which we supposed to consider for house accommodations calculation. Anybody? Now I'll tell participant one by one to tell. Unmute your mic and tell me. Siddhi, Manoj, two Manoj we have in meeting. None of them is answering.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Tell me the calculation. How much it is coming for house accommodations valuation? क्या है? टोटल करो, ले लो कैलकुलेटर सामने. 2,10,000 plus 60,000 plus 28,800 plus 13,800 plus 9,600 plus 13,000 plus 20,000. So by considering that, the total comes to 3,55,200. So accommodations value, if it is unfurnished, comes to rupees 35,520. How much is the rent paid or recovered from her or him, Akshay? Is 31,000. So balanced amount is taxable for concessional rent, house accommodation provided by employer to employee, 4,520. Is it mentioned here 4,520 for house accommodation? Yes. फैसिलिटी ऑफ कुक, फैसिलिटी जो कुक का पर मंथ बेसिस पे कैलकुलेशन चल रहा है, is taxable for salary. At least we have to consider taxable part. So by considering that, it comes to 1,400 into 12, 16,800. Similarly for watchman, 16,800, because watchman and cook are getting 1,400 per month. So once it is done, motor car as a perquisite we have to think. What is mentioned? High capacity motor car, owner is employer, motor car as a perquisite, directly calculations are given. Instead of writing this calculation directly as a part of working note, you have to write down few points. Who is the owner? Company. Who is the bearing, running and maintenance cost? It's employer. Then what is the purpose of use? Personal and ऑफिशियल, यहाँ आपको अजम्पशन करना है, बिकॉज सिर्फ पर्सनल जो प्रॉब्लम में दिख रहा है वहां एक्सपेक्टेड है कि कॉस्ट ऑफ व्हीकल पता हो. अभी जो पता ही नहीं, अज्यूम करने में पॉइंट है क्या? तो नहीं. एटलीस्ट हम प्रॉब्लम में थोड़ा सा ऑफिशियल वर्ड यूज करें तो हमें कैलकुलेशन सीजी जाएंगे. तो if it is used for official and personal both reason, depending on capacity of vehicle, charges are 900 per month for vehicle and for chauffeur 900 per month. So by considering that particular aspect, it comes to 1800 into 12, 21,600. Employers contribution to NPS 37,800. अभी आपको टोटल सैलरी में कंसीडर करना है. बाद में आप जब डिडक्शन के लिए क्लेम करते हो, टैक्स कैलकुलेट करते वक्त, वहां डिडक्शंस आप एनपीएस का डाल सकते हो, बट सैलरी में वो कंसीडरेबल पार्ट होगा. देन कंट्रीब्यूशन फ्रॉम एम्प्लॉयर टुवर्ड्स आरपीएफ कितने परसेंट से है? 12% ऑफ सैलरी. 12% ऑफ सैलरी कम्स टू, सैलरी की डेफिनेशन क्या है? Salary is basic plus DA of retirement benefit plus commission if it is expressed in terms of percentage of sales. अभी कमीशन तो दिया नहीं. आप देखो 2,70,000 का 12% करके 32,400 आता है, बट 12% से एग्जम्पशन है क्या? कंट्रीब्यूशन का एग्जाम्शन 12% से है क्या? एग्जाम्शन कैसा है? RPF, if we are calculating and we are talking about the exemption, then that exemption is at which rate? Tell me. Is at 12%. Then what exactly their contribution? Tell me. What is the given in problem? 35,000 is credited for RPF. अपना कैलकुलेशन आता है एग्जाम्शन का 32,400. Contribution towards RPF from employer is exempted at the rate of 12%. If we calculate that 12%, it is 32,400, whereas here lump sum amount is given towards RPF, that is 35,000. So 35,000 minus 32,400, balance comes to 2,600, which is written here. Excess employees contribution towards RPF. Then excess RPF interest. Again, RPF interest is credited in account at the rate of 13%. 13% कितना credit हुआ? 16,250. Whereas exempted is at the rate of 9.5%. If we consider that 9.5%, then that exempted amount comes to 11,875. So 16,250 minus 11,875, excess taxable amount of interest towards RPF is 4,375. 4,375. So gross salary will come 5,43,695. Standard deduction without anything we have to write 50,000 as it is opted with old regime. PT given in a problem 2,500. So deduction can be claimed. Entertainment allowance is only for deduction in case of government employee. For private sector employee, it is not deductible. So income from salary, if we consider, it is 4,91,195. जो भी वर्किंग नोट दिया है वो वर्किंग नोट का स्क्रीनशॉट आप ले लो. ये बहुत अलग तरीके से, कल से अलग तरीके से दिखा है, बट दिस इज करेक्ट वन. Assumption you have to write in problem. It is just mentioned for personal use. We have assumed for motor car calculation. In absence of vehicles cost, it is used for personal and official purpose. ये assumption आपको लिखना पड़ेगा. Any problem? At least reply yes, no in chat box. Unmute yourself and tell me. आप नहीं बोलोगे तो कैसे चलेगा? थोड़ा तो बोलना पड़ेगा आपको. Okay. See, up till now, whatever we have discussed is given in this PDF. In short, what is the definition of salary? Because revision is needed. Only calculations are not enough. Revision partly, if we revise every day, you are in position to at least catch few things. So if we consider salary, which is monetary benefit given by employer to employee against the term of work or contract of work for him or her organization. Here, what are the components? Basic plus DA plus bonus plus commission plus taxable allowance plus salary arrears, leave encashment, pension, gratuity, perquisite, and profit in lieu of salary. So these all things are taken into consideration as the term applicable. Salary due but not received, is it taxable? It is taxable. Salary received before due date, is it taxable? It is taxable. Arrears not taxed earlier, taxable on receipt basis. Salary already taxed earlier, not taxable again. So this is important point. But in this also I can share one practical experience. One of my close friend, last year when they faced the crisis of salary and they were not in position to receive salary, but due to huge salary size mentioned on paper, what she thought, yes, there are two bases of taxation, one is cash and another one is accrual. She convinced tax department in a very good manner. When query came, she filed return only on the amount which is received by her against salary from employer. They made query ki your TDS deducted is this much and we are getting on site through this. So if at all you want a refund, you have to give us a explanation why you want, and your that amount and your return filed amount is not matching. She explained everything and she attached her documentary proof of passbook where the salary was credited with certain specific stuff. She could recover from income tax department the TDS which is paid by the employer of 80,000, not a small amount. She is convinced, as employer has not paid me, so right now I'm not in position to pay you that amount's tax. I don't know when it is going to pay. If it is going to pay by them in future, I will pay tax if it is applicable. If it is not paid right now, consider my financial crisis and accept my proof of amount received as my income source from salary. This has actually happened. She has given explanation. They have accepted it and they have refunded it. So what we read in theory, sometimes if we use practically and prove our part in front of these people, the officials are also in position to consider your facts and figures. I believe this whole income tax system is mechanized. AI is working, system software is working, and they are doing everything with the help of software. But even after, when software fails, human beings are responsible for resolving query and doubts. These issues are sorted by those human beings by considering all legal aspects which are mentioned in income tax act. These are, when we, this is practical thing. When I'm saying taxable on receipt and taxable again, not taxable again, but due but not received, वो taxable था, उसने exemption लाया, उसने वो बोला, she has convinced. Different forms of salary. Salary consists of several components received by employee during the course of employment. Important part. We can call it salary is a salary when it is received by employer from employee against or in the tenure of employment under a contract of work. Even if I get wages, then those wages are also salary. Basic salary, fixed monthly remuneration paid by employer. Fixed monthly remuneration paid by employer to employee. Receives 3 months salary in advance in the month of March. Advance salary is taxable for 25-26. मार्च 26 में मिला है, जब मिलेगा तब टैक्सेबल, फिर अभी वो नेक्स्ट ईयर नहीं मिलेगा तब कंसिडर करना ही नहीं है. Arrears received during the year are taxable in the year of receipt if they were not taxed earlier. Like if whatever I said for friend, she convinced and arrears have been shown. If arrears are received in subsequent further years, then she is supposed to file a tax return by considering that amount of arrears which is received. Next is basis of charge. Then dearness allowance. Dearness allowance is given by the employer to employee to meet the expenditure, compensate the employees for inflation. In city it will be high, in rural area this DA is low comparatively. Then bonus, additional payment made by employer to employee for his or her performance and sometimes from profit is also given. Fully taxable, no other way out. Commission is part of salary if it is mentioned in terms of turnover percentage. In RPF and in HRA we do consider that fully taxable. The allowances which are mentioned here, HRA, transport, children education, special allowance, medical allowance, these are partially exempted, partially taxable if amount exceeds. House accommodation, motor car, interest-free loan, then sometimes club membership. These are the employer's contribution to retirement funds beyond the prescribed limits. These are the perquisites. Now retirement benefit, gratuity, pension, leave encashment, provident fund, superannuation fund. These are the retirement benefits. So gratuity's calculation will be 15 days salary, 26 days working is considered into consideration. 15 days salary is what? Salary is nothing but average of last 10 months salary which is withdrawn into number of years served. Into number of years served. For example, if a person has received only 50,000 in terms of basic and retirement benefit wala DA. Then 56 average 10 month salary is 56. Suppose that person has worked only for 6 years. 56,000 into 15 divided by 26 into 6 years. Whatever will be the calculation is the amount of gratuity that person is supposed to receive from the organization. Salary received before it becomes due. Taxable in the year of receipt. Relief under section 89 may be available. Arrears of salary. Salary relating to previous years but received in the current year, taxable in the year of receipt. Relief under the section 89 may be claimed. So these are the important points with which we calculate tax, whether relief should be claimed, whether it should not be claimed, where it is available, where it is not available. So that has to be remembered. Compensation received instead of salary on termination, modification of employment. That compensation for termination of employment, amounts received under the Employment Act is termed as salary. जब कोई भी एक हैंडसम गोल्डन शेक हैंड करने की कोशिश आपको करता है, तो गोल्डन शेक हैंड के टाइम जब आपको कोई लमसम अमाउंट देगा, retirement, premature retirement, or else we can say termination of service, that time that is known as salary. Salary is taxable on earlier in case of due or in case of receipt. Essential condition for taxation under the heads of salary are following, which we have discussed many times. You go through this. This is important. This is important. Occasionally, if lunch is provided or allowance is given, then no tax. Paid for meals unless provided as the exempt requisite. Servant allowance. ये important चीजें हैं, प्रॉब्लम में बहुत बार आती है. This is the pro forma. Take this screenshot. इससे ज्यादा कुछ अलग से pro forma है नहीं. लेक्चर चालू आहे राष्ट्रभान. जाऊ दे. See, take the screenshot of this quick revision table. Fully taxable allowances, partially exempted allowances, official duty if it is paid for that and spent amount for that, then exemption, taxable perquisite and exempted perquisite. Perquisites we exempted a tea, coffee if we are getting exempted. Mobile bill is paid exempted. Laptop is given exempted. Recreational facilities provided exempted. So this is basically important part. Sometimes we get confused. तो इतना सा थोड़ा याद रख लिया और उसके आगे पीछे के अमाउंट्स तो आपको याद रखने की ज्यादा जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. It's up to you how you can remember, how you can revise, and how you can complete the task. Any problem? बोलो. Rent free house accommodation without charging rent is called rent free house accommodation. The value of benefits are as valuation is like this. Concessional, again the calculations are dependent on this. Here we will stop and remaining part we can see in tomorrow's lecture. Have a good day.